Hi, third grade. We're going to go ahead and get started with our journeys story. We're going to start with our study of our vocabulary. So it's Wednesday today, and we are just starting our story. So we won't have any tests at the end of the week. Those tests will come next week since Fridays are days to catch up. So just do it as I assign it, and we'll be all okay. So I want you to go to page 268 and 269. It should look familiar. We're on lesson 23, and we're going to read some vocabulary words in context, meaning listen to the words around the unknown or the vocabulary word to figure out the meaning. Number one, sincere. The president had sincere hopes. He truly wanted to change unfair laws. So if you are sincere, it means you really do mean it. You truly do. Do you see the word there? Truly. That's a clue what sincere means. Number two, managed. Artists managed to carve this special monument. It was not easy. To manage something is to do something that maybe isn't easy to do. To take care of, all the parts and get things that you need to have done. So managed. Number three, loaded. Before sailing, people loaded onto the swan boat. They piled on. I think we know what loaded means. Sometimes we like to pile on the French fries. Yeah, load my plate up with French fries or pizza or ice cream. Number four, loveliest. Oregon's Crater Lake is one of the loveliest national parks. It is beautiful. So they say it is beautiful, and beautiful is another word for lovely. Number five, conversations. Conversations. Conversations in a museum must be quiet. People should speak in whispers. When you're having a conversation, you are speaking with others. And you have to be listening to have a conversation. Number six, inspired. This statue has inspired people. It makes them believe in freedom. Something that inspires you, makes you believe. Like, I might be inspired by a famous ballerina, and I believe that I too could be a famous ballerina. Well, maybe not. Number seven, reunion. This family went camping for their yearly reunion or gathering. Now, in that word reunion, re means again, so they're doing it again this year, and union sounds like unite or gather together. So a reunion, they gather together again. Number eight, currently. Currently, this fort is a museum. Soldiers no longer live here. Currently means now. In the long ago, soldiers lived there, but currently means now, and they don't live there now. So sometimes in social studies, you'll hear about current events, and that's things that are happening in the news now. Number nine, pleasure. People get pleasure or enjoyment from riding this old merry-go-round. What word did they use for pleasure? They said pleasure or enjoyment. Pleasure is something that is pleasant, something nice, something that you might have fun doing or enjoy doing. Number 10, terror. When people look down at the Grand Canyon, they may feel terror or fear. Terror or fear, like a lot of fear. When I looked down at the Grand Canyon, I was amazed. It was beautiful. I hope you get to go there someday. Now I'm going to go to page 271 and I'm going to read to preview the topic of our story. Our next story is kind of a fun one. It's the journey of Oliver K. Woodman, and it's very different from the journey that the locusts and the whales went on. This is a made-up story, but let's go ahead on page 271 and read Sending Messages. Think of all the ways people communicate today. People send messages in many ways, including emails, letters and postcards, and text messages. Even smiling and waving at another person are ways to communicate. Most animals send messages to each other too. Birds call to each other. Dogs bark warnings and wag their tails to say hello. The journey of Oliver K. Woodman tells the story of how people help the strangely quiet Oliver K. Woodman send messages in interesting and amusing ways. So this is going to be an interesting and amusing story. To be amused might be to kind of be entertained, and it's going to be kind of fun. Now, we're going to go ahead and take our vocabulary sheet for Oliver K. Woodman, lesson 23. The vocabulary words we just studied. If you need to, you can review them again. And when you're ready, you'll take this test. Well, not this test. You'll fill out this worksheet. Take a picture of it and send it to me. I'm going to read the sentences and you'll decide which vocabulary word fits. School is blank, closed until further notice. Right now we're closed. So what is that word that means now, right now? Look up here. We'll read through them again. Sincere, managed, loaded, loveliest, conversations, inspired, reunion, currently, pleasure, terror. The next one, Martin Luther King Jr. blanked people to work for change. He made people believe they could change things so that they would be better. Next one. Their class blank was canceled because they could not get together. We can't get together right now, so we have to cancel this. It's our class get together, but what's that other name for it? Next one. Please try to have a quiet blank with your partner in the library. So, keep it quiet. Don't get too loud. Next one. I am very blank when I say I truly miss you all. I really do. I truly do. What word means the same? Next. North Carolina's mountains are some of the blankest I have seen. They are just beautiful. Another word for beautiful. Next. After we blanked the car with our gear, we left to go fishing for the weekend. Well, we had to put all of our gear in there first, so after we put it all in there, what's another word for put it all in the car? Next. I had a feeling of blank when I could not stop my car. I was afraid I might crash. I was really afraid. Next. I get great blank from reading a good book. I do enjoy it. It is a nice way to pass the time. Last one. The park rangers took care of everything and they blanked the trip very well. They took care of everything. They had the camping spots picked out for us. The food coolers were ready. Everything was ready to go. They knew where the trails were. They knew how many people would be going. They had enough canoes and enough of everything so that everyone got to participate. Okay? Now I would like to preview what we're going to be doing in our grammar this week. We're going to be learning about singular possessive nouns. We know a noun is a person, place, or thing. A single noun means one person or one thing. Possessive, though, means that something belongs to or that you own something. If you possess something, it belongs to you. You own it. So let's look at the top of the page. A singular possessive noun shows that a person, animal, place, or thing has or owns something. You might want to has or owns, circle that. Add an apostrophe and S to form a singular possessive noun. Remember that apostrophe? It's like kind of like a comma up in the air. We're going to put that and then an S to show that it's one thing and something belongs to it. Let's take a look at the first two sentences up in the box. The backpack's straps were loose. Whose straps were loose? Backpacks. One backpack, but the straps belong to the backpack, so apostrophe S. Oliver's backpack was once home to a mouse. Whose backpack? Oliver, one person, his, apostrophe S. Oliver's backpack. So we're going to write the possessive for each noun below. One, my friend's cat. Whose cat? Friend's. One friend, F-R-I-E-N-D, and it's his cat, apostrophe S. You'll do the others just like that. Let's go to where the directions change. Underline the noun that should be possessive and write the possessive form. We're going to underline these together. The man's hobby was to build furniture. We're going to underline man, and then we're going to ask, whose hobby? Man's hobby. The man's hobby. So we would write M-A-N apostrophe S because it's one man and it's his hobby. Number 2, the workshop tools hung neatly on the wall. Whose tools? The workshop's tools. Underline workshop. You're going to write it over here and add apostrophe S. One workshop, apostrophe S. Number 9. His niece's birthday was next week. His niece's birthday was next week. Underline niece. Whose birthday? Niece's birthday. Don't forget the apostrophe S. Number 10. The day chores would have to wait until he completed the gift. Whose chores? The day's chores. So we're going to underline day. And we're going to write day's chores. The day's chore. Whose chores? The day's chore. Chars. That's hard. Don't forget your apostrophe S. Okay. And I had assigned page 119, but I think we're going to just wait and do that another day because that's possessive plurals. And that's a lot to talk about all in one day. So we're just going to finish this workbook page. And then you also have your spelling words on page 120. And you should be working on filling out that page. Our words are going to be suffixes. Those are endings that we add to words. And the three suffixes we're looking at are FUL, LY, and ER. There, it's right there. So when I read these words, listen for those endings. Singer, loudly, joyful, teacher, fighter, closely, powerful, farmer, quickly, careful, friendly, speaker, wonderful, truly, hopeful, safely, listener, and calmly. That's it for today.